think that we are on. All right. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sacred Soulful Sundays, our little piece of heaven for a little while to get connected. And I am Bipila. I forget to introduce myself because I'm new at this streaming business, but thank you for being here this morning. And today's journey is kind of like an energetic uh, weather report. It's really interesting because what came in for me was very strongly the word transformation. Transformation. This is the message that is being delivered, I believe, to every channel that is on this planet right now. I really believe that, and I am no exception. So, what does that mean, transformation? The word transformation versus other words that have come in before, like resurrection, is a very interesting word because it means that we're going from one energetic vibration into another energetic vibration. Okay? And that is a global phenomenon. I've spoken on this channel before about what the earth is going through. And this has been discussed by not just by me, but predicted and seen by so many people that are much higher in an influential level than I can possibly be. It's been coming for years and years and years, and sources like Dolores Cannon and Eckhart Tolle, and when he wrote The New Earth, which is absolutely a channeled text from him to the world, which even Oprah Winfrey made a whole series about, right? You guys are fully aware of this, talking about the new earth and what that meant. And Dolores Cannon speaking about the new earth. Um, what's interesting about that is all that from before, it even started in the 1940s with the Law of One channeled by Ra, which I have been very into for quite a while and spoken about as well here. All of this information has been coming to us for years and years and years. The interesting aspect about all of that, and I don't know how many of you have dived into this yourself out of curiosity, out of exploration. For me, it's beyond curiosity and exploration. It's literally a knock on the head, pay attention. You're supposed to deliver this message in not unlike so many others that are doing the same. Um, this message is that it's here. It's no longer something that is coming. It is something that is here. And it is expressing itself through us and with us at this moment in time. We are in a moment of transformation. Transformation globally, transformation on an energetic level, and the new earth is here. Now, the new earth is not a place. Some people were confused and said, okay, this is what's going to happen is the earth going to split in half and there's going to be a new one over here. And, if you listen and dive into this on an esoteric level and through other channels, that could get confusing. It's like, what do you mean by that? But that's not what it is. It's not a physical space. It's an energetic space. It's an energetic space that we, as human beings, being part of nature and being part of this planet and being part of the density that we live in, are transitioning into. Okay? So you have to imagine that, and we know this, we know that we are all vibration, correct? We are all vibrating at a certain rate. And as we spiral up the vibrational scale, which we understand and have become very familiar with, we know that our energy is affected by nature, specifically, especially being women. We are pretty much affected every month by the energies of the moon. We're very familiar with what it does, the gravitational pull. But this is an energy that comes from the sun. And the sun is life. The sun is light. We can agree, right, that without the sun, there is no life, right? It is the sun and the energy and vibration of the sun that gives life because of its light quality. The energetic value brings the energy to the plants that provide us with the oxygen, that provide us with our nutrients. So we can understand this concept of it, right, from a scientific level, but we have to understand it from an energetic level. The sun is currently expanding its solar flares, and the galactic energies that are amongst us are forcing the earth to get to another evolutionary level. We can agree that there were times in which there were dinosaurs on the planet, correct? And now there are not, right? So there is an evolution in the physicality of the earth's plane, okay? And we are here to witness the ushering in of this new evolutionary phase of the earth. And we need to get with that program. This is what the transformation is all about. But how is the transformation going to affect us personally? The transformation is affecting us personally on an interior level, on a subconscious level, and also on a conscious level for those of us that are awake and aware. We're feeling it because transformation on an energetic level on the earth plane is causing us to get up to the level of her vibration so that we can live within it. And what process do we need to do in order to do that? It's called purification. Okay? We need to cleanse ourselves of the toxic traumas that we have had, both collectively as a planet, collectively meaning anything that has caused a fear-based negative polarity has to be cleared in order for us to raise our vibration to love. Okay? And fourth density is all about love. It's love in its purest form. This is why recently I also spoke about Christ consciousness. Because Christ consciousness is love. It's pure, unconditional love. It's not Christ in terms of Jesus, from the term that we know religiously. It's the consciousness of Christ, which is pure, unconditional love. It is a vibration that stems from reaching and expanding and opening our heart chakra. Okay? It is a level which we are climbing towards. But in order to get to that level, in order for us to synchronize and harmonize and become coherent with the energetic level of the earth, which is rising, we must purify ourselves from the toxicity and traumas of our lower chakras. On a personal level, that is what's going on. Okay? On a collective level, it's wreaking havoc with anyone that is not in resonance with the vibration of love. Because by contrast, they just don't fit in. Now, that may seem odd to you, and things feel on that level that they're getting worse before they're going to get better. But they will, and we have to do this together. It's not something that is going to happen by ourselves, but we have to start from ourselves in order to raise that vibration. Does that make sense? Okay. So, what's happening to us, and I witness this in this beautiful tribe that I have. Hi, Maritza, those babies are so beautiful. um, I witness this in our tribe right here all the time. I hear you and I feel you all going through a transformation, like going through the realization that you must get with this program. And what does that mean for you personally, right? What that means for you personally is that you must clear out all the old gook and junk and shadows and get yourself to 51%, let's call it, at least, to be able to function within the energetic value of this planet in accord with the flow of its energy. I hope that I've stated that properly, okay? And that you understand. So it's not an option anymore. Either you get that done, or you fall into a reality that no longer synchronizes with the new earth. Okay? So I want to encourage you, urge you, invite you to continue to dive in to anything that is preventing you from this alignment. Because if you don't, and it's again, we are in a free will zone, guys. We get to do whatever we want here. We really do. We get to choose at what vibration we go. You know, we get to choose. But if we choose to avoid, escape, numb ourselves to this awakening, we will fall into a reality that is going to become very, very uncomfortable. Okay? So, how do you know if you're in alignment? Can anybody share what they know to be true in that regard? How do you know if you're in alignment with the earth, moving into fourth density and your heart chakra opening? Anybody share? No one wants to? Everybody's shy today. Okay. um, you know by how you feel. It's simple. Your emotions are your guide. And you have a secondary approach, which is what's showing up for you. What's showing up for you. So if you're feeling anxiety, worry, distress, anger, guilt, remorse, regret, any of these negative emotions, if you are in this energetic field, you've got some work to do. It's pretty simple. You know, it's kind of like, okay, you walk into your kitchen and the night before, maybe you cooked something that was like stinky. And by morning, you didn't take out the trash, right? By morning, you open that trash bin and it's like, oh my God, this is disgusting, right? So what do? You close the trash bag, right? You get it, take it away to another place, and you deal with it, right? You throw it out. Okay, that's kind of what we've got to do. We've got to clear out the trash. And then that little aroma has to be taken care of, right? We have to take away any lingering effects of the trash, right? But taking out the trash within ourselves is one of those things that we don't really like to do, right? It's uncomfortable. It's very, very it's work. It's work, really. It's shadow work. It's diving deep. It's really facing who we are. It's analyzing what is it that's stuck there that hasn't been looked at, And quite often we just want to like do any kind of avoidance, like, you know, retail therapy, Disney World, you know, whatever we want to do just to not face what we need to face. But face it, we must. So, how is this happening and when is this happening? It's happening right now. 2024 is a pivotal year. We're going to be transitioning and transforming this year all the way through 2026. We are going to be feeling these energies quite extensively. And like I said, the faster you get with this work and get it cleared, the better you will flow in your life. I see a lot of you wanting to change, move on, go into another field, you know, do something else. And you're struggling with this. You're struggling with this because something within you has said, enough is enough. I am not going to be in this conditioned past. I am not going to be part of the past. I want to be part of the future. Isn't it true that you guys are feeling this? Like you're being called. It's almost like pulling you, like you know, how do you call it? Like you're on this conveyor belt, and whether you like it or not, you got on the belt that's in the airport, right? You can't get off. You can't jump over the fence, you know, or like when you're on the expressway and you're on the slow lane, and now all of a sudden you got into the express lane, and you're like, move, because if not, something's gonna hit you from behind. This is the feeling that we're getting collectively, okay? And those of us that are on this planet at this moment in time that came on this mission to actually be a voice for change, to become light workers, this is it. They pressed go. The accelerator is on, okay? So, whatever that calling is, my advice and invitation to you is to listen deeply and to make it happen, because you will never be more supported than right now. I know for myself that this is the journey I've been on for a very long time. And I spoke last week about divine timing, right? I talked about the timing of things, the cycle of things. There is no denying that we live cyclically, right? There's no denying that we go through winter, then we know that spring is going to come. And when spring comes, we know that summer is going to come. And we know, and it may be a little earlier, a little later, whatever it is, but it is going to happen. Well, this is how we live anyway. We are in cycles. And we have to recognize the cycles of our lives. Okay? I feel that pull, that call so deeply that, as you know, yesterday I did my first workshop with something that I have been dreaming about for years upon years upon years. Something that has been in that vortex that Abraham Hicks says for a very long time. And everything went beautifully. Why? Because I know that I am being supported. I'm going to get emotional because I feel that yesterday was such a big deal for my growth and my declaration as a teacher, as a healer, as a leader in this world. And it's not about my ego at all. It's more about this deep satisfaction that I'm on my path 100%. And I cannot tell you how good that feels. It has nothing to do with material wealth, by the way, guys. It has nothing to do with material goods. It doesn't belong necessarily to the third dimensional materialism that we live. Okay? The currency, and I want to use that word because that's the word that's coming in, the currency that we're working with or that I am working with is at another level. And I think that all of you want to be there too. You want to be on the currency, the wave of flow that this new energy brings. I have to tell you, it's a beautiful one because it's an energy of love. It is the energy of love, and it is our birthright. Okay? Currents of chi. Thank you, Tatiana. Yes, I love that connection. Currency or currents of chi. Yes, that's what it feels like to me. It's an energy of love. It's chi. Chi is energy, prana is energy. It is an energetic field of love that is a wave that literally can take over your life from a perspective of flow, and you're not efforting anymore. God knows I have efforted this design enlightenment movement, okay? I have efforted it for years, and efforting didn't work. It isn't until I surrendered and believed that it could happen that divine timing came in and said, yep, we got you, go. We're going to do this. Everything's going to be fine. Just let us take over. We know better, right? And that's what I want for all of you because I sense it. I could actually, I know you all so well, and I could tell each one of you what you're brainstorming on. But you know what? I don't want to use that word. Let me rephrase that. What you're heart storming on. Because this doesn't come from your brain. Okay? This comes from your heart. This comes from a desire to be in sync with the new Earth's energies. It's going to get to the point where you can't ignore it anymore. It's not going to be possible. You're going to want it so badly that it's going to hit you across the head, like Oprah says. She says, if you don't listen, it's like a little rock. If not, then it's a little tap. And then later it's a brick. Okay? This is going to be the brick if you don't listen. So I invite you to use all of the modalities at your disposal, whether it be meditation, whether it be silent contemplation, whether it be Tai Chi, like Marisol has found her way into Tai Chi and it's become such a big part of her practice. That's a moving meditation. You know, Tai Chi might be the right thing for you. Yoga might be the right thing for you. Whatever you feel called upon to do to get into that vibration, just do it. And one thing that I want to bring up and what's coming in for me big time is listen to your hunches. You know, Florence Scovel Shinn, I love her books. I don't know if any of you have read them. They are phenomenal, you know. I love the way she's like the queen of, you know, we thought Louise Hay was the queen of affirmations. No, no, no. Florence Scovel Shinn was the first queen of affirmations, okay? And her book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, is a must read. For any of you who have not read it, I highly recommend it. It's on audio for free on YouTube. You don't even have to buy anything, okay? Just turn that thing on and listen to it. And the way she speaks her truth into the world is another incredible factor. And the reason that I got on this string of Florence Scovel Shinn is because of the word hunches. Okay? What is a hunch? A hunch is like a tip, a little sign, a synchronicity. Pay attention to the synchronicities in your life, okay? Pay attention to the little things that show up at the moment that you need it the most. A butterfly flying in front of you when you're thinking about something that you got an idea, a creative spark, okay? A dragonfly, an animal, spirit animals, everything on that plane that is fourth density and higher, mainly 4, 5, 6 density, those beings are sending us messages all day, every moment of this present time. You understand? And all of you know this because I don't need to tell you how many of you notice 1111s daily, right? They show up, they're like, oh, 1111, oh, or whatever numeric sign shows up for you. For this week that I had been preparing for my Design Enlightenment workshop, I've been receiving every day 909, 909, 909, 909. And for me, 909 shows up when I am completing a journey. 9 is the number of completion. So 9 for me says, okay, B, you've fulfilled this phase. Not that I'm done by any way or means, but I know that this week was a completion. Yesterday, in fact, was a completion for me. Was the completion and fulfillment of a very important phase that has been floating in my vortex for a very long time. So I ask you to think for a moment about what's in your vortex that needs to be manifested for you personally. But most importantly, whatever you want in a material sense, which we're all entitled to abundance and prosperity, okay? We're all entitled to feel that we have everything we need provided for us. But we have to step into the flow of receiving. And how do we step into the flow of receiving, guys? We step into the flow of receiving by reciprocally giving. Okay? You cannot receive what you don't give. And the more you give, the more you will receive naturally, because it is a universal law. Do you understand that? So I want you to receive this message in the most pure way. I want you to understand that we will receive an exact amount as to what we give. And when we become aligned with that energetic value of giving, we will receive an equal value. That will be your currency. Okay? That will be your currency. So if you've got a hunch that you need to be, doing something that gives you joy, anything that feels fantastic for you is good. Follow it. Follow it like a little, like a little butterfly that's taking you through the forest. That's going to be your GPS. The emotional energy of feeling good should be your guide at all times. And those of you who are transforming yourselves, because I believe that a lot of you are transforming yourselves into something in service of others, will receive the benefits of the energetic value that the planet is going into. And don't be afraid to ask for help, please. Don't be afraid to reach out to those beings that are not in physical form, that provide you with assistance at all times. Whether you call them angels, whether you call them saints, whether you call them ascended masters, whatever you call them is fine. Whatever you feel comfortable with is okay. Try to every day take a moment to honor that. I think that I have been streaming this whole
Recording in progress.
I didn't record. Oh well, I don't know if that's good or bad, but we'll certainly see how that works. So I don't know if any of you are getting this. I know that it's high level from a perspective of talking about densities and talking about dimensions and the new earth and all of these things, but I believe that you guys are ready. You've heard this throughout the years, and Florinda brought to my attention that I've been doing this for 3 years. I keep saying 2.5. No, it's been 3 years since we've been on this chat, and we've been learning and growing together. And I think we've taken this journey of understanding together, starting from understanding what our emotions bring to the table, all the way to books that we've covered that help us, as well as understanding that we have tools that we need to apply. We've never been more needing of the tools, rituals, and practices to take us to this next step. It's going to become a necessity to travel along the journey. Okay? It's kind of like we're going to be taking this very long trip. And if we don't pack what we need to do it, we're going to suffer. Okay? And suffering is very internal. Okay? It's your own personal pain that needs to be dealt with. Okay? And some of us, by the way, that are on this journey still continue to carry maybe traumas that are not even belonging to us. Okay? A lot of you have done the constellation work. Amazing, powerful, transformative work. It gets to it right away. Okay? Whatever modality you choose to go on, whatever journey you use, whatever healing modality you use is fine. Follow your instincts, follow your intuition. And by the way, healing is really just getting yourself to your original program. Let's put it this way, into a balanced, coherent state, which you are entitled to always. That's what healing is. We are never really ill. We are just processing something that is not serving us. It's not who we really are. Last class, I mentioned that Jesus's healings were done by imagining that that person was in its purest holistic form of wellness. There was no such thing as dis-ease in his mind and in his belief system. So whatever is showing up as a dis-ease, which can be emotional or physical, is there to teach you and to grow you to your next best level. It's always working out for you, whether you get that or not. And I know that a lot of what I've seen and witnessed lately is, kind of what we had when we had COVID, that there were so many people that were just leaving the planet. I mean, inexplicably, people that there was no reason to say how come they couldn't make it through. What happened? And what we have to understand is that either those persons, their soul level could not deal with the energetic patterns that were coming in. They couldn't process it, and they chose on a soul level to leave, okay? Because at a higher vibration, which is not embodied, they can do better work for us. It's not that they've, uh, some of them are just giving up. And I know, by the way, for those of you who have lost animals recently, there is a lot of that in the animal realm. These loving creatures that accompany us on this journey take on a lot for us in their unconditional love for us. Our animals are sentient and sensitive, and their love is beyond. So sometimes they may be processing things as well for us. It's almost like I'll take it because I love you so much, which feels very sad. Okay, it feels very sad, but it's just a cycle of life. It's a choice. So, because I don't know why, but recently I've seen so many people that are close to me lose their animals almost prematurely too, which is very interesting. It's not like they reached a full, complete life, you know? So I, I invite you to really dive into this if you're curious about this, because I personally I'm always curious about all of this information, and I'm always reading and listening and seeing what's going on. I can't help but um, be feel like I need to be an arbiter of what's coming. This is what I meant by today being more of a weather report of sorts, that for what transformation we are going to be going through. Okay, we have to transmute the negative energies of our lower chakras. It is no longer an option to let them sit there festering. Okay, and on a collective level, we're also going to see more disclosure, because um, it's funny. I heard a channeler and a psychic say recently that imagine that you had this huge thorn on your body for years upon years upon years, and it's festered and infected and disgusting. And all of a sudden, you've realized that it's there and you're pulling it out, and it's not going to be fun. Okay. That festering of negative energy is happening on a collective level as well. So things like human trafficking and sexual trafficking and all of these horrific things, and war in general, is part of that negative vibration that needs to go. It no longer belongs and is in alignment with the new earth. And it seems impossible at this stage, because the information that's coming into us is always negative, on purpose, by the way, guys. The news and all of that information that is coming in from the outside world is purposely designed to keep us in an enslaved, fearful state. Don't let yourself be fooled. Don't let yourself fall into the wave of that negativity and vibration. Be the light. Stay in your light. And this is why your practices and your commitment to staying in the light is so important, because you're going to be the stabilizers. Okay? You guys are the grounding team. All of you. You are the light. And you need to anchor in your own light first, so that you can be the light for others. Does that make sense? I hope that you understand where I'm coming from. Um, I hope that you can get what I'm delivering, because it is imperative that you understand this and awaken to it. And however it is that you are meant to be that light is enough and accepted and actually nurtured by the beings that are here to help us. I hope that you get this, okay? Does anybody have any questions? I'd love to hear. Everybody is so quiet. I know that we're streaming. Don't be shy. Anybody have anything to say? Does anybody feel this?
Good morning.
Good morning. Hi.
I missed the beginning of the twinnies didn't allow it. They were sending you kisses and they were like waving to you. I was like, great.
They're so
But I
good.
wanted to ask you one question. So you were talking about, so today is the day that we were talking about um
Transformation and purification.
transformation. Okay, so the purification, that's what I want to talk.
Yes.
Because transformation happens with the practices that all of us we do.
Yes.
The purification is the act of our practice with purifying the process of our soul.
Correct.
I didn't hear that part.
Yes. And that is specifically, Maritza, in our lower three chakras. The lower three chakras are basically what we've traveled through. We have been, you see, 1, 2, 3, third density, right? We have traveled from our root chakra, so from our sacral chakra, okay, and to our solar plexus, which is identity, right?
Yeah.
And will, and we are transversing into our fourth density, right?
Which is what?
Which
Which
is
one?
our heart.
A heart, got it. Oh,
Our
from
heart.
here, got it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So our heart chakras, when we awaken, when we experience a spiritual awakening, okay, it is when we reach the heart chakra. And our
Got
heart
it.
chakra gets exploded, like all of a sudden. It's kind of like, how many of you have seen The Grinch, right? You remember The Grinch by Dr. Seuss, in
Yeah.
that Christmas story, right?
Yeah.
The
When he
Grinch,
finally dropped a tear, yeah.
yeah, exactly. That his heart is literally in a little cage and it's this big. It's tiny, 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 tiny.
Yeah, I say, what the fuck is happening to me? Yeah.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden it goes and explodes. And then he becomes like a completely transformed being. Like he wants to give everything away. Nothing is for him anymore. It's all for everybody and the good of everyone. And that's a perfect description of what happens when we reach our heart chakra. And
So that's when the purification happens.
correct. We
Okay.
need to get to the purification point. And believe it or not, what they're saying, because we have come, and I've mentioned this in the past, but I'm going to repeat it. We have come to the end of a 26,000 year cycle.
20,000.
26,000 year cycle.
I'm going to write that down.
Okay. And we are at the beginning of a new one. And that cycle is as if we've traveled up the chakras, literally, energetically, but the planet also, and it's entering a new evolutionary state that has a vibration of love. And we've made it. In other words, we could have annihilated ourselves. We have free will. We could have gone down the rabbit hole of negativity, but we didn't. We made it. We made it 51%. Okay? But guess what? That means that there's 49% negativity still. So there's still a lot of work to be done, right?
So you say 26,000 years?
Yes. 26,000 years. That's how long it's taken us to travel on this path of evolution, of ascension. Okay? And we are now in this moment. This is what we came here for, guys. It's like we're here for the movie. Let's watch it together, but let's participate in it. We're here to do whatever we want to do within that energetic moment of time. And you that have these beautiful little new babies, they've come in to usher in the next era. How beautiful is that? And what do you want them to live in? What do you want them to be in? Do you want them to live in a world that is the way it is right now, or the way it seems to be right now? No. We want those babies to be in a new earth in which there is more love and war doesn't exist. This is what we want we always want. Do we want war? No. It's the collective fear-based negativity polarity that wants war. It serves them because the more they make fear in our hearts, the more they can control us from being the powerful creators that we are. So Lourdes, yes, I'd love to hear what you have to say. You are raising your hand, right? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lourdes is.
Lourdes, sit down.
So I just kind of, you know, how all this takes me back to my religious upbringing, and I started to think, like, these priests and nuns who sacrifice their whole life, right, for love, really, right? And we're talking about the currency. They gave up other material currency, and their currency is love, what they give and what they give back. But look at how much they had to sacrifice, because the world kind of wasn't ready for that yet, right? So they couldn't have a normal life. They really had to, like, go all in, right? And almost separate themselves from normal society in order to live in this kind of fourth dimension that we're kind of ascending to, right? It's almost like their souls were kind of already there, in a different way, right?
Agreed. And I love you using that metaphor, because that is true. They chose out of their own free will to stand firm in their light. Therefore, they get up as leaders, oftentimes silent leaders, quiet leaders, oftentimes on the pulpit, to expound teachings to the best of their ability in love, right? Just like, but we all have this capacity. The beauty of this is, and they have to go through a purification process, by the way. They have to self-sacrifice and say, okay, I'm going to focus on prayer, because prayer has a great amount of power, okay? Prayer is thought that is heartfelt, okay? That is in your heart. It's an energetic value, and it is definitely a currency, okay? So use prayer if prayer is your preference. Prayer is how you speak to God. Meditation is how God speaks to you. Okay?
I love that. Can you say that again? I'm going to write it down. Today is my day of write it down. Slowly, por favor.
Prayer is how you speak to God. And meditation is how God speaks to you.
Lovely. Yeah, and my point also being that I think we're like you're saying, like, the world is taking us to a place where we no longer have to separate ourselves, like priests and nuns, from society in order to live in this love-giving, vibration, right? So, in the older days, I think you had to separate yourself because nobody was in this wave. I think now there's a lot of people joining, this wave, this movement of awareness.
Amen, sister. You couldn't have put it better. That is exactly what we're doing. We are getting with the wave that only the privileged that could separate themselves to isolate themselves from the cruel world. Because let me tell you something, that world was freaking cruel. All right. If you watch some of those period pieces, you go like, how could people have done these things? My God. How could we hang people in the middle of the street and burn them to the stake? And everybody's like, yay! Like, what the hell?
When you go to the Coliseum and you imagine what happened there, you're like, what?
I know. It's really, when you watch what humanity has done to itself, it's almost unfathomable that we could be so low in our vibration of fear, right? How could we be in those depths? And you're right. We are awakening to a new way of being, that we are all connected, number one. There is no such thing as something that I do to you that I do not do to myself. This is a fact. Now, if you
Wow.
don't want to get that, it's your choice. You don't have to. But for the first time, what I'm trying to say about this moment in time is that for the first time, the support level that we have in following this wave of love has never been greater. It has never been greater, because we have risen, ascended to love and above. We've made it. We climbed the ladder. We've made it collectively. And that's why everywhere we go, we are seeing it come back to us. Like, you're standing in the freaking grocery line and someone is talking about, my vibration is really low today, and I need to bring my chakra level up, and maybe I should be eating some better foods. And I don't know if I want to eat that right now because it really doesn't help me. Or maybe I need to be grounded. So let me take some grounding foods, and let me talk about the crystals. And we're hearing it everywhere, really. So we need to continue to be that voice for others. We need to continue this conversation. We need to elevate ourselves to be at the level of the new priests and priestesses of the planet without ego, okay? And whatever that means to you is great. Whatever, as long as you are not hurting others and helping others, you are in perfect alignment. So whatever you do to be in that alignment in your own personal practices, hooray. And then once you get there, whether it's prayer, meditation, and whatever other modality you decide to choose, okay, then you are capable of putting the oxygen mask on someone else and helping them wake up to the truth. And by doing that, that percentage of awakened people on this planet will continue to rise, okay? Like a little thermometer, okay? It'll continue to rise like a thermometer. And the more that thermometer goes up, the more our reality will continue to change. And we will jump onto a timeline. We will jump onto a timeline that serves humanity in a much bigger way. Okay? We all are on timelines, okay? This is just the way it works. They're in, like I've mentioned before in my teachings about time. Remember, time is only an illusion of this density, right? So as we heal, and healing, like I said, is just getting back in harmony. That's all it is, getting back in harmony. So as we heal the traumas of our past, both collectively and internally ourselves, this thermometer will rise, our timeline will shift, and the faster we will usher in this new earth that is not about separation, that it is about connection, it is about collaboration, it is about love, it is about, this is actually why we also are experiencing such radical discord with the gender phenom. And it's like, we are all just souls, we are really just souls. The physical form is not really what should be looked at right now. The color of our skin doesn't really matter. Okay, this is the phenom. So we're seeing this in our outside world, and we don't want it to be an issue, because issues are a creation, a distortion is better said, to use the words of Ra. It's a distortion in our mind. We create issues so that there's a distortion and confusion that is fear based. We have to stay in our state of love and light, because that's what we are. We are light. You know, recently I saw Visham, which is the guy that created Mind Valley, and he has this little YouTube video that shows a leaf being photographed by this special camera that shows its light, and it's a beautiful fluorescent purple light, just a leaf, one single leaf. And he says that that leaf shines like that when it's plucked from the tree for like a couple of days, and then of course it loses its light, it loses its energy, right? So imagine if that's a leaf. Imagine us. We are vibrant, illuminated beings. We have a light within us that shines. And that light is fed by the grand light of our Creator. Okay? We are like that leaf connected to the tree, but we are connected to the source by an invisible string of light. Okay? This is why when we do our grounding work, we connect to the earth. We imagine a beautiful string of light, correct? Coming down from the root into the core of the earth. And then we connect vertically up to the violet, beautiful flame of above. And this invisible thread is literally like the USB cord, okay? It's a little cord that is invisibly connected to both the ground and Mother Earth and to Creator. If you disconnect that cord, you lose your light, guys. You don't want to be disconnected. You don't want to run out of battery, okay? You want to be on Wi-Fi, literally. And our Wi-Fi is the great source of all, okay? So keep in your light. Connect every day. Make a point of it. Make a point of it. And you, by doing that, will never lose your way. And you will receive as much reciprocally as you give. So get with that program, guys. Get with that program sooner than later. And help each other in any way you can. All of us that are more vocal, like me and like Maritza, all of the people that are on this chat that are spreading the word, opening up their doors to modalities of healing, expanding consciousness daily by opening up the opportunities for people to awaken. Wow, more power to you. You will receive the abundance and prosperity in the currency of love to the exact and equal proportion that you give it, if not more. I promise you.
And speaking of which, B, last year we put together this beautiful event with it. Do you remember, Deb? Last year, Deborah and I, we were a little off. And I remember when she called me, she says, something is happening. And it was happening to me too. And I said, I know about chakra alignment and how it works, but sometimes even myself, I get freaking lost and disconnected and. So my team put together an amazing alignment for the chakras. I actually was participating on it. So this year we put it together. It's the alignment of love. And we have somebody who will use a pendle to analyze what chakra is off. and then you go into different rooms with different healers. And not only that, but this time I'm asking if they can teach us the tools of how to do it when you know that something is off on you. And I'm very excited. It's going to be February the 20th. Everybody's going to have an opportunity to, where this time we're giving away the crystals so that you can use it at home. And it has the little, how can you use it at home? Like, if you feel like you want to put a candle, and because sometimes, we don't always have the opportunity to, okay, I'm going to go to a place so they can teach me, or we're going to go to a place that they can cleanse me, or I'm going to go to a place that I can alignment. But it's something that you can do at home as well. So I'm very excited. It's going to be February 20th at 6:30 in Calma.
I love it. This is exactly what I'm talking about, Maritza, is teaching others the tools that they're going to need because, like I said, because of this energetic shift and in our planet and in ourselves, we're going to need to use our tools, guys. We need the tools in our toolbox because the ride is going to be a little rough. Okay? It's just the way it is. We are going to need, it's not fun to clean out the trash. It's just not. But it's needed, right? You can't live in the trash for very long. There's only so much that you can handle. So you have to clean out the trash and actually learning how to analyze your own chakras, which I do. I actually use my own pendulum and I do check my chakras. When I'm off, I know it. And I check my own chakras. And I have had moments in which and it usually is when we're feeling out of sorts, any negative emotions within us, they start manifesting in the chakra that is aligned with that. And then oftentimes our physical body will reflect that in kind, right? So the chakra that is in tune with a particular part of your body will show up. One that's my favorite, and I've told this story many times, is the throat chakra, right? One, after my heart chakra opened and I was in a major spiritual awakening, the very next chakra that tested my toxicity was my throat chakra. And I went through a period for months that I felt like I had a lump in my throat. Okay. And I was thinking of it literally. I went to the ear, nose, throat doctor. I did all the typical medical things. And they were like, no, 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 there's nothing wrong. There's nothing there. And listen, I told them, there is something there. I can feel it.
Oh my God, isn't it funny? I
Yes.
had a heart monitor and
Yes.
I was able to travel like maybe, I don't know, like I don't know how many years ago. And then when I did the pendle, they told me that my heart chakra was blocked. And I said to him, what are you talking about? I'm the most loving human being ever. But it was blocking my chakra for me,
Yes.
for my love.
Yes. That's what
That
I'm
was like,
saying. So it'll manifest if you getting a symptom, pay attention because you're going to see, I feel that we're also experiencing that much faster. It used to take a long time. So it was hard to make the connection, right? Like, how about, aren't you guys feeling like if you get out of balance, you get sick right away? I don't know. After COVID, for me, it's been like, uh-oh, I'm out of balance because immediately I get I get a cold, I get something, right? And that's like your body saying, uh-oh, you've gotten, you know, you've gotten out of alignment, get back in alignment. So I immediately start tackling it from the inside out as well as from the outside in. And if I do that right away, okay, I get back in balance. I find that that's happening on a much faster pace than before. Before it used to take a while. Like there was a lag time. You know how when your when your TV is not picking up a signal and you like get a lag, like that's how it was before. So you couldn't make the connection between the dis-ease in your inner being and the dis-ease of your outer being. That's not happening now. People are either like immediately getting something because the inner work is coming out. Okay? Also, the universe supports whatever you believe. So if your thoughts are negative, that leads you down the wrong path. Absolutely, Yvette. We, whatever your belief system is going to manifest and manifest even faster. So this is why we want to clear out the negativity as much as possible. And we want to not use our words in a way that adds to the energetic value of the negativity. So be careful of your words. Be mindful of your words. Turn any negative comment into a positive. Okay? And remember,
So,
when you use your words, use them very consciously. Okay?
so B, how would you explain, because this is something that I need to explain to my team. How do you make it in a short version and like a one sentence? What's the difference? Because in the chakra pathway, we have a lot of breakthroughs and breakdowns all the time. It's a channel of energy. It happens to so many people. And then my people asked me the other day, is what is happening is a process of transformation. It's like awakening. But what is the difference? Like, how can you say it's a process? What is the difference between the transformation and purification?
Okay. Transformation is what's happening energetically, collectively. All right? So, because that vibration is rising, if you're stuck in anywhere in your lower chakras energetically, that's why you get so many breakthroughs and breakdowns. Because all of a sudden, I don't know what it is about that beautiful path you have in Kalma, girl, but that path is like a portal. I swear, it's like a portal. People go through that portal and they come out the other side, and something gets triggered within them that brings to the forefront a trauma, pain, or toxicity that hasn't been dealt with. It comes to the forefront of their awareness. Okay? And it's a good thing, because that you cannot heal or transmute or transform something you are not aware of. Okay? That's all. So awareness is part of the responsibility of being awake.
So the purification happens afterwards?
Yes. And you
Okay.
offer an opportunity for purification of that through the modalities that you have. It's such a beautiful thing to witness.
That's what I was trying to understand, because then they have their massage and we do the anala, which is the crystal thing, the Kalma journey. We ground people. And then when they leave, they feel lighter. And they said that,
Yes.
so
Isn't
I
that
was
a
trying
great
to apply
word?
that.
Feel lighter?
Yeah.
Listen
Yeah.
to that word. They feel lighter.
Yeah.
That is literal and physical. They
The light.
feel the light.
Yes. I
Because
love this. Okay, let me write this down.
all of a sudden, you shed light on a shadow that was hiding. Got it? When you shed light on a shadow, it comes to the forefront, it gets to be dealt with, and it gets to be purified. And when you purify it, you release it, and now you transmute it from negative polarity into positive polarity. And there's all of these beautiful modalities to do it. Got it?
So B, can I ask you something?
Yes.
Okay, so as a little girl, I remember getting a lot of sore throats. If I were to be sick, I had a sore throat. And I come from a generation where my parents, children were seen and not heard.
Oh, how telling is that?
Right. So that's incredible that now I'm getting sore throats. I had one about a month ago, And I just came back from vacation and I have it again.
Okay.
But I don't know what to make of it because the weather was wacky. We did a cruise. The weather was terrible. So we didn't do the normal things. We did not go to the beach. We did not go in the water. It was too cold. So I spent a lot of times in our cabin making videos and working on my business.
That is so interesting, Evelyn.
It is, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yes, but look,
So it was
you're
a
having
very
little aha moments right now as you're telling me all of this.
it was a very productive week, let me tell you. I don't know that I'll yeah.
I feel that you have just discovered that there's a bit of this, you're striving to speak your truth, to get the word out. All of this has to do with your throat chakra, okay? All of it. When your throat chakra, and like I said, I experienced that the moment that I had my awakening in my heart, my throat said, hello, I'm here. Come on, you know? And I, like you, had also, my tonsils were a disaster. They were taken out and
Right.
all
Yeah.
that when I was a kid. So when we are, it's like a pressure cooker, Evelyn. So your heart starts pushing this energy up. It's like, woo, I'm going up, I'm going up, I'm going up. Because my goal is to get up here to the crown, to my third eye, to the upper connection, right? To receive the information that I need to say. And you are doing an amazing service with your TikTok videos. You are showing people that you have healed yourself. You're not afraid to say authentically what's going on with you and your truth and how and your journey, right? So
right.
all that's coming out. And this is going to be a process as you clear out the baggage from the past. The throat showing up for you again is saying, I've been afraid in the past, but I'm no longer afraid. Okay?
Interesting.
Love is my motivational force, and I'm going to do this. But like every process, sometimes the process is painful. And it requires us to get out of alignment before we find our way and create alignment again. And when we clear all that out, you're going to see that your voice is going to be clear. You're not going to have throat issues anymore. And you're going to be speaking your truth clearly, distinctly, and being on your path. Trust me, this is just a process. This is telling you, hey, there's some stuff here that we got to clear out. And just by having this awareness that this comes from your past, these are little traumas from your past that just need to be cleared. I suggest that you literally talk to your higher self and say, Evelyn, everything is fine. All is well. That past conditioning does not support me any longer. I am in my truth. I am okay. All is well. And I will move forward on this journey. Speak to yourself.
That makes sense because the insecure little girl is coming out.
Yes.
Because I'm always checking my video and saying, was that okay? Did I sound okay? Did I say the right thing? Did I get the thought across?
You're a natural. You do a great job. Feel confident. And if somehow this cruise on vacation gave you the opportunity to do more of this work, God bless you.
It actually did, yeah. I don't know if I'd do it.
Can you put your name on TikTok so we can follow you and then we can support you energetically?
Yes, it's called the Savvy Queenager.
The Savvy Queenager. Isn't that a great name? I love it.
Yeah,
that's a
Queenagers.
great name.
Let me explain how I came with that brand. Savvy Queenagers are women over 40 that are working on their second act, and we've raised the kids, and we are now working on ourselves. And so we have a lot to share, right? We've grown in wisdom and our life hacks and tips that we've become savvy. But we still have the spirit of a teenager. I still feel like I'm 25 inside. So, right? It's like, dysmorphia, but it's a phenomenon, I think, that happens if you're lucky and you're awake, that in this phase of life, I really feel terrific. And I love sharing my truth. It brings me joy.
Well, keep doing it, girl. I love it. I laugh so much in yours. First of all, I'm amazed at how brave you are, how courageous you are. Because let me tell you, if you've ever watched Evelyn, she is so 100% authentic. There is no pretension. This is it. This is me, and it's beautiful to watch. And that takes tremendous courage, which I always say, courage comes from the word cœur in French, which means heart. So it completely comes from your heart. And it's
Wait, courage comes from a place of friend. Wait, can you explain that again? I need to write it down again.
The word cœur, C-O-U-R, which is the prefix for courage, means heart. Corazón. Corazón is a good way in Spanish to understand courage comes from your heart. It doesn't come from your head. All of those movies that we watch, like Braveheart or whatever we want to watch, where we witness courage, that's why the lion in The Wizard of Oz needed courage. And what did they give him? A Sacred Heart medal to wear. Remember that? And it was so funny that he was a lion, right? Because lions are supposed to be the king of the jungle. And he didn't have any courage. It was so funny. So he couldn't feel like he was courageous. He was missing his heart. Courage doesn't come from our heads, ladies. It comes from our hearts. So I witness you, Evelyn, with all the courage that you have to speak your truth. Bravo.
Well, you're very kind, because I don't see it as courage. I see it as a Cuban girl that loves to talk.
Well, you can see it however you want, girl. I don't care. I see it.
We love to talk.
I see it as courage. And let me tell you, on that note, I will close today Sacred Soulful Sunday by B. Pila. So you can find me on YouTube, and we're still streaming. Thank you for sharing all of these beautiful, beautiful moments of wisdom and truth. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you for supporting me on this journey of purpose. And it will take courage to get us through this. It will take lots and lots of light and lots of love. And all of that comes from the beautiful center chakra that is called our heart. Namaste, everybody. Love you.
Thank you.
Evelyn, send the link. Send the link.
Okay, will do.
Send the link, girl.
Yes, we want to follow you.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Love you. Thank you. Bye, girls.
Bye. Have a good Sunday.
Bye.